All right, there's no time for any openers because the race here has already started at the Hockenheim ring. The last race of the season. One final dance for these 17 LRT NXTs. The fight between Kelvin de Groot and Victor Nielsen in the championship is very much on. 6 points in between the two. Kelvin de Groot just a moment ago was leading this race. Victor Nielsen had to start from P8 after winning that first race with the reverse top 8 grid. There he is, Kelvin de Groot at the front of the field doing what he does best. Victor Nielsen in the hunt. My name is Dan Papels. Next to me in the commentary booth, as always, is Frederick Lesser. Frederick's race has already started. Kelvin de Groot at the front. Lucas Stiefelhagen, his Dutch buddy, behind him. It looks like he's got a great foundation to win this race.
Absolutely. So Kelvin de Groot leading the race. If he wins the race, he will win the championship. Kelvin de Groot can finish second if Victor Nielsen is winning and still clinch the championship. So Victor Nielsen at the moment P6, so he's further back to field. He's got a lot of fighting to do if he's going to have a chance of this championship. So Kelvin de Groot in a good position to win, basically. Lucas Stiefelhagen second, wants to get the victory. Patricia Stalizzane P3 at the moment. One of the losers on the first lap. Sadly, Sophie Hoffman has fallen all the way back to P11 from starting on third position.
You can see Linus Schenelund in the background, had to get around that very beautifully colored car. I think that is the 15 of Vida. Well, a replay of the start. A good start for Lucas Stiefelhagen. Almost an even better one for Patricia Stalizzane. She is still in that group, has to make sure though she stays with that pack. She cannot lose the slipstream, and that is what she's doing at the moment. Lucas Stiefelhagen is helping Kelvin de Groot by bum drafting him along the straight. They're creating a bit of a gap. Victor Nielsen has to be quick, has to be aggressive, and he goes for the move immediately on Arndt. That's the 19 in the red and white car, and he gets past. It's crucial he's effective with these passes, Frederick, because he hasn't got a lot of time.
Absolutely. It's Mr. Arndt that he passed going into the hairpin in the Spitzkehre. We love the Spitzkehre. So he's fighting hard there, Victor Nielsen. Remember, Victor Nielsen needs to basically be in front of Kelvin de Groot, that is leading the race at the moment. Enza Hallman, third position, fighting with Patricia Stalizzane, and right behind them, Mr. Hallman. So Hallman will push. I talked to him before the race. He only said to me there's nothing else than a victory this time. He doesn't care about the fight. He doesn't care about the other ones. He will push for the victory.
Oh, Victor Nielsen up the inside. I think that is off Graham Hoffmans. There's a spin. Oh, contact between the two. Is that Patricia Stalizzane? Yes, it is. She went off the track. Oh, goodness me. Luckily, she managed to get it, to keep it going in the right direction. But Victor Nielsen, very, very, very aggressive with his moves. And who knows, maybe race director thinks that's a bit too aggressive, Frederick.
Yeah, let's see. We don't have any replay yet about what happened, but Patricia clearly lost a lot of positions. We heard the tire screaming, we heard her spinning, so clearly she lost a lot of ground there. Let's see, and that it's not a contact with Victor Nielsen, so there's any penalty or anything like that. So Victor at the moment, P4, remember, Victor can actually claim the championship if he is second, if he has the fastest lap of the race, which gives you that extra point, and that's how close it is in the championship.
Now, what would happen if they would finish on the same amount of points, Frederick? Would it go to count back in terms of wins?
Yes, that's how it is. So if they have exactly the same amount of points, the number of first place finishes equals the winner.
So that means that Kelvin de Groot needs to win, because if Victor Nielsen finishes ahead of him and they finish on the same amount of points, Victor Nielsen is your champion. He has 6 victories over the 5 that Kelvin de Groot had earlier on in the season. He did a really good job staying consistent, being effective with his passes, with his moves at the start of the season, and he is, well, that's put him in the lead of the championship that he's in right now. Kelvin de Groot with a bit of a mistake, though. That allows Lucas Stiefelhagen to draw alongside. He does lift side. The two at the front of the field are smart, though. Lucas Stiefelhagen helping his fellow countryman Kelvin de Groot. Do you think they've talked before this race?
Of course they have, of course they have. I mean, Lucas Stiefelhagen wants to have the victory. Kelvin de Groot wants to have the championship. And as we know from all the previous races, don't make any stupid mistakes in the beginning. Be smart with your push to pass, so anything can still happen in this race, Dan. Victor Nielsen has got the purple first sector. So Victor Nielsen, obviously, P4 at the moment. He's charging from the back behind Enza Hallman.
Now, I have just seen on our timing screens that the incident of car 4 at turn 12 is under investigation. There's your confirmation as well. So that incident is under investigation. Stewards are looking at it. So we might see a penalty come in the way of one of the drivers that was involved in that. Still haven't seen a replay, so don't really know who was involved in it. It only states the number 4 of Patricia Stalizana in the report as well. So it's a bit of a guess for us at the moment who was involved in it. Kelvin de Groot at the front of the field, though, doing what he needs to do to clinch the championship, helped by his fellow countryman Lucas Stiefelhagen. Enzo Holman still chasing them down, though. And I have a feeling, Frederick, he might be getting some help from Victor Nielsen soon.
I think Enzo Holman and Victor, they're a little bit too far back from the slipstream of Kelvin de Groot and Lucas Stiefelhagen at the moment, so they need to get a little bit closer. So here finally we have a replay. Oh, Alexander Christiansson and Leon Arndt having a bit of a contact. Luckily they avoided everyone else.
Oh my goodness, that was at high speeds as well. Luckily the grid was able to avoid them, but that was closer than we would have liked there. Bit of code brown for some drivers. At the front, Kelvin de Groot still leading ahead of Lucas Stiefelhagen and Enzo Holman. Behind the both of them, then it's Victor Nielsen in P4. And the incident between the car 27 and 19, which we've just seen a replay of at turn 14, is also under investigations. Stewart's busy, though, in this race.
Absolutely, and you can see Kelvin de Groot, Lucas Stiefelhagen, Enzo Holman, Victor Nielsen. It's all about this group now. I mean, Victor Nielsen, he needs to pass, he needs to get up. He needs to be basically in front of Kelvin de Groot. He can be behind him, remember, if he has the fastest lap of the race. But they're not catching them, really, Dan. So Lucas and Kelvin, they're staying with those 10 car lengths in front of them, and they can't really catch them.
No, indeed. It looks difficult. He needs to kind of bum draft Enzo Holman or get ahead, make sure he's faster. I have a feeling that the best chance for Victor Nielsen at the moment, Frederick, is just to try and help Enzo Holman close up as well. What that's going to do, though, it's going to put Enzo Holman in that fight with him and Kelvin, which might be, in the end, a saving factor for Victor if he can overtake Kelvin.
I mean, one thing they can do, Enzo and Victor, they can sacrifice one push to pass now to avoid being too far back and not having the chance to attack at the end of the race. Graham Hoffmans, he's doing really good in P5 at the moment. So Alexander Christiansson, start number 27, 10-second time penalty for causing that collision. That's what happens when you do cause it, so he has to serve that after the race. But yeah, like I said, and Enzo, he's actually gaining a little bit here. Victor cannot really follow, and Victor needs to watch out from the back where Graham Hoffmans is charging as well.
Yeah, the closer they get, the more effective that tow will work. The slipstream of both Kelvin de Groot and Lucas Stiefelhagen. Now, we're on lap 5 of 7. The two of them have been working together at the front beautifully. Do you think that might change as soon as those two catch up?
I mean, of course, then you need to protect position, you need to try to gain position. So they are catching up now, so the slipstream at the end of the straight now before the Spitz carry will for sure do its job. So we're back to sort of the positions we had in the last race. I mean, Lucas Stiefelhagen, it's not good to be in the front because then you're towing everyone. So he wants to stay behind Kelvin. And Kelvin doesn't really want to be first because then, he's a sitting duck, for charging with push to pass.
We saw this in DTM earlier. It doesn't really care or it doesn't really matter where you are as long as you finish ahead of your championship rival. When you're ahead in the championship, that's all I think really Kelvin at the moment is worried about, and his worries might become bigger soon because, well, Victor Nielsen and Enzo Holman have caught up to the back of that train now. They're with them, and that will mean that it will become a 4-horse race at the front of this field. Kelvin de Groot still leading as he's done for all the laps so far, which I wasn't expecting with the slipstream we had here, but the two at the front, together with Lucas Stiefelhagen, have been working together perfectly. Enzo Holman and Victor Nielsen have been trying their best to catch up as quick as they can, and they have managed now. That slipstream will work. They'll catch up, and we'll see what the two at the front will do. Half a second quicker last time round than Kelvin de Groot was Victor Nielsen, of course benefiting from that tow, but you can see what that's doing. They've now caught up.
Oh, Kelvin having a big slide going into the arena. He needs to stay in front here. And then none of the first cars have used any of their push to passes. So Kelvin, is he feeling the pressure? Will he make a mistake? Will he stay in front? What will Lucas Stiefelhagen do? They're using all of the track ends, so using a little bit more, trying to get that good exit, that good slipstream into the first corner.
This is going to be crucial. Look, he's once again pushing him. He's so close to the rear of that yellow Varta car. The two have been working together perfectly, like I've mentioned so many times at the front of the field. Kelvin de Groot does go a little bit wide. That is within track limits. But Lucas Stiefelhagen, with the pressure from behind of Enzo Holman now, might want to try and move and try and get past himself. At the end of the day, when you get into this car, Fredrik, the only thing you think about really is racing, clinching that victory. And Lucas Stiefelhagen, with the position that he's in the championship, doesn't really care about what's happening ahead of him.
Exactly, and 1.5 lap to go. So it's a battle for first position, and still no push to passes have been used. So clearly they're saving it for either the end of this lap, either the end of this straight, or for the last lap of the race.
Yeah,
and Calvin is blocking. He's doing exactly what Victor Nielsen did in the last race. And Lucas decides to stay behind, so he doesn't want to be first. This gives Enzo the chance to go on the outside, but he has a bad exit. And Lucas got a really good exit, and this time he's slotting in again behind.
That was close, though, to the front of Enzo's car. Enzo's virtually pushing Lucas through that corner. Lucas defending the inside, which will become the outside for the next corner. Enzo, look into that inside. It's blocked by...
trying to take both of them on the outside.
That's too late. That's way too late. That's going to allow Victor Nielsen to get past as well. Well, Kelvin de Groot's championship rival is now on the podium at least.
I mean, and Enzo, he's been in the position where he's been leading the race out of the last corner so many times. I know he doesn't want to do that, but fourth at the moment for him. He needs to improve a little bit and be further up if he's going to take finally that victory.
Kelvin de Groot, he's been leading all the laps so far, but the most crucial one he needs to lead is that last lap of the race. We're coming up to it now. We're just exiting the stadium section. 2 more corners to go before we start the end of the last lap of NXT Gen Cup 2024. And it's going to be a crucial one. Victor Nielsen in P3 will look to pounce. He needs to be aggressive now if he wants to try and get up to Kelvin de Groot. Kelvin de Groot has a bit of a gap now, but might Lucas Stiefelhagen have lined him up perfectly now for that toe down the back straight, Fredrik?
And remember, Victor Nielsen in the blue STFG car, if he finishes second and Calvin de Groot is winning the race, he can still win the championship, Victor, if he has the fastest lap of the race, which he has at the moment.
So that means Kelvin de Groot protect that first position as best as you can. The outside it is for Victor Nielsen. That will open the inside for Enzo Holman. Like you said earlier at the top of this broadcast, Fredrik, he doesn't care about what's happening in front. He's going for that victory. Lucas Stiefelhagen will try to get up to the back of Kelvin de Groot. I think it's too far, Fredrik. I think it's a bit too far. Gap last time round was about half a second. That's opened up now. You can see he does have the fastest lap, 208.07 for, or 208.705 for Victor Nielsen. But might it be a bit too far now? They have used push to pass at the front of the field, though. You can see that Kelvin de Groot and Lucas Stiefelhagen both using it.
But Victor Nielsen, crucially, has 2 push to pass left. So remember, he can still win the championship.
He's using one now.
He's using one now.
He's using one now, and that's coming out of the Spitzkehre down the insides of 5. He will make that move stick, but now his championship rival is right ahead of him. It's going to come down all the way to the wire. He has gotten past Lucas Stiefelhagen, but the most crucial one is now ahead of him. Kelvin de Groot has used this push to pass to create the gap between him and Lucas Stiefelhagen, but will it be enough?
Effectively, Victor Nielsen is the champion at the moment, and Stiefelhagen is using his push to pass. So now Kelvin de Groot is the champion, effectively on track. So Victor needs to pass Lucas Stiefelhagen. If he passes him and Kelvin de Groot has the fastest lap of the race, he will win. Always blocked Enzo Holman on the outside.
And Holman's going to try and make his way around the outside. That's going to put Victor in a position where he can't really go anywhere. He's boxed in. Kelvin de Groot needs to round off 2 final corners to do what was his dream. And it looks like it's going to be enough at an heroic attack at the final corner for Victor Nielsen. Looks on the inside, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The driver's down to the line. Kelvin de Groot wins.
But Victor Nielsen, will he be second? He still has the fastest lap of the race, and Victor Nielsen most likely is the champion of NXT Gen Cup, Dan.
Goodness me, what a race that was. And it came down right to the wire. The gap between the 2 for second and third place in this race. A little bit over 1/10 of a second. And well, that gives it to Victor Nielsen, Fredrik.
I mean, that's crazy. They changed the championship victory basically 3 times during those last corners.
Now, I do have to think, Fredrik, you get 30 points for a victory. Kelvin de Groot has gotten those 30. 25 for a P2. What would the fastest lap give you? Because that would need to give him 11 points for a fastest lap.
Yeah, so you're right. I think it's actually Calvin. I think I've been wrong there. Yeah, it is Calvin. Calvin is the champion. So he managed to do it. It's points, just these small points, Dan, that are the difference.
In the end, it will then be Kelvin the Groot, and what a dream that is for the 20-year-old. He has done it at the death of it. He takes the victory, and what a way to end the championship. Kelvin the Groot, champion of the Next Gen Cup 2024 at 20 years of age. He accomplishes a dream of his that has been a dream for so long, and that's win a championship. It is Kelvin the Groot. All the drivers are now trying to congratulate Kelvin. Boy, would I love to see pictures from in that car. Thumbs up, a heart for Victor Nielsen and for Lucas Stiefelhagen.
And obviously I was wrong the whole time. Of course, you can't win the championship if you're behind him. Yeah. I had a list here, Dan, that I prepared, but it was based on Victor. So yeah, wrong of me. Of course you win if you're in front. So sorry for that. But well done, Calvin. I mean, he did exactly what he had to do. Victor was fighting hard. He was up there, but Calvin the Groot, he really deserved the championship. He started the season strong, started the whole season very strong. Victor Nielsen as well, but yeah. Vartakar, Calvin the Groot, champion of Next Gen Cup 2024.
And boy, is he going to enjoy that. It's something that he's been wanting to do for so long, Fredrik, and yeah, a dream like this coming true, especially at the age that he's at. Kelvin the Groot, Next Gen Cup champion 2024. Boy, he's going to enjoy that, and he does it with a victory. The best way to do it, Fredrik.
Absolutely. It's been a stellar year, Dan, I must say. We've had extremely good races all year long, from day one, I would say. And the first race this morning was absolutely amazing. They kept the title fight alive all the way to the last race here. And even the sun almost went down on us here. But it's been a good year. It's the end of the second season of Next Gen Cup. And, I mean, we must be really happy, Dan.
Yeah, of course. Here it is then, your champion of 2024 in the Next Gen Cup, Kelvin the Groot, wins the second race here at the Hockenheim ring. Victor Nielsen with a heroic pass on the last lap on Lucas Stiefelhagen. It wasn't quite enough. He tried everything he could. In the end, the gap is 2.2 seconds at the front of the field. Enzo Holman finishes third. Once again, a podium for him, but not that victory that he so wanted this season. Another trophy for him in his trophy cabinet at home, but once again not a first place trophy. Lucas Stiefelhagen at the end even dropping off the podium. Graham Hofmans with a season best finish in fifth, a amazing result for the youngster. Then it's Nikas Kallas in P6, Nina Schenelund in 7th, Patricia Stalizzane. It looked so promising for her at the start, but she finishes down in P8. Siri Erkveld in 9th, Benjamin Mazatis in 10th, then it's Arndt in 11th. Sophie Hofman, after starting this race, what I think was P3, has dropped all the way back to P12. Philip Bartos finishes 13th. Lawrence Rule in 14th. Chantal Fugel 15th. Then Alexander Christensen in 16th and Vida in 17th. There he is, champion of the Next Gen Cup in 2024 with number 24. It's Kelvin the Groot. Once again, these horns of the Next Gen Cup cars sounding all over the Hockenheim paddock. It's been an amazing season. This, in the end, was crucial for the podium spots as well. It looked like for a long time, Fredrik, that Victor Nielsen was not going to get it, the podium at least. But then look at this heroic move going into the final two corners. Enzo Holman going a bit wide. He might get a slap on the wrist for that, because look at the run he got out of the final corner. He passes Lucas Stiefelhagen with it, but it wasn't quite enough to pass Victor Nielsen. He gets P2, but crucially ahead of Victor Nielsen. It's Kelvin the Groot. One finger out of the cockpit, and that means indeed P1 in the race and in the championship. What a championship it's been, Fredrik. Of course, highlight for Kelvin that, well, almost perfect weekend he had at the Nürburgring, taking all the victories there. All 3 victories he could take that weekend. Well, it's been an amazing season.
Absolutely, it's been absolutely amazing, Dan, and we've enjoyed every second of it. We've got some nice drivers that really deserve these podium finishes, and let's go through some other people. Niklas Kahlus, again, our young gun, finished P6, doing his first race here, and I mean, sadly, Sophie Hoffman, she fell back, P12, Dan. That's not really well, starting from third position, but that's racing. And Patricia Staletsani as well. Yeah,
Lawrence Rule is running to the top 3. Probably to congratulate Kelvin de Groot on all the podium finishes, but that's, yeah, that looked quite funny, Fredrik.
Absolutely, so Lawrence Rule and Kelvin de Groot, good friends, obviously, and here you can see Victor Nielsen and Kelvin de Groot hugging each other and shaking hands, and they've been fighting hard, and they respect each other on track and off track, and sadly Enzo Holman didn't get that victory either, but third place in the championship. So yeah, let's finally get to spray the champagne on those race suits and on each other and celebrate this victory.
Yeah, I think this will be our best celebration so far this season, Fredrik. Of course, we always wait till the last race of the weekend because we have to use these suits again. We obviously don't have too many of them. All drivers got one, so you have to be careful with it. But what a season this was, Fredrik. We started, of course, strong at the Norris Ring. It was Lucas Stiefelhagen actually taking the first pole position of the season and also taking the first victory of the season. We thought it was going to be right in it. Then it was Victor Nielsen who took the second victory of the season. In a new qualifying session, pole position took by Linus Schienerlund. He impressed me during this season as well. That victory, though, taken by Kelvin de Groot, the first of what would be many. The fourth race at the Norris Ring, which would set the tone for this season, it would be Victor Nielsen who took that victory. Kelvin de Groot, very consistent, not finishing lower down than second at the Norris Ring. Then came the Nürburgring, and it was a perfect, almost perfect weekend for Kelvin de Groot. The only thing he missed was that pole position because he took all 3 of the victories, putting him at 4 victories this season. Then we went to Sachsenring, a weekend that was filled with a lot of emotions. It was Victor Nielsen, though, crucially taking 3 victories, putting himself back into that championship fight. 1 victory that weekend, though, for our champion, Kelvin de Groot. And, of course, this weekend, so crucial. Once again, it was obviously Victor Nielsen who took that first victory this weekend, making it 6 for him. But the final race here has delivered for us, ladies and gentlemen. It's Kelvin de Groot who takes his 6th victory of the season, and with that, the 2024 NXT Gen Cup Championship. All right, it's time for the podium. And it will once again be a familiar face on the podium, Fredrik. Enzo Holman will take a 3rd place trophy home, and his cabinet will be filled with 2nd and 3rd place trophies. Once again, not looking too happy with a 3rd place. Victor Nielsen at the death had to try something, and he got a 2nd place, but nothing more. He tried everything he could, but in the end, it was just the man who finished first and took the championship this season. Kelvin de Groot was a bit too strong for him this season. He takes the Dutch flag with him onto the podium, and everything that's next for us now is the national anthem. The national anthem sang by everyone at the podium that is a Kelvin de Groot fan or family. Great to hear. Next is the trophies, and it will be Emil, one of our mechanics, presenting the trophies to the drivers. First one goes to Enzo Holman, 2nd place trophy goes to Victor Nielsen, and a 1st place trophy, and with that the championship goes to Kelvin de Groot, the champion of 2024.
Happy birthday and a
time for the drivers for one final time this season to get together for the picture. The top 3 in the championship finishes top 3 on the podium as well in this exact order. Kelvin de Groot first, of course, our champion of 2024. And now it's time for one final celebration. And all the celebrations will be, of course, towards Kelvin de Groot, our champion this season. Frederick, a personal highlight you have of this season?
I mean, all the races, the first race at Norris Ring with the 0.03 tenths of a second difference was obviously a highlight. I would say, I mean, bulk of the races. Sachsenring was crazy with full cast within 3 tenths with 1 car backwards over the finish line. So, yeah, some of the highlights then.
Well, Frederick, that was it for the season 2024 already. I'm so looking forward to 2025 when NXT Gen Cup will be back. We don't have a calendar yet. We've been supporting DTM this season. Hopefully more of that to come in 2025. It's been one amazing season with Kelvin de Groot as your champion. From myself, Dan Papels, and Frederick Lestrup in the commentary booth. Thank you for this season. Thank you a lot, all the fans who've been at the track and watching at home. It's been an amazing season for 2024. We'll see you in 2025. Until then, goodbye.